Power! She down there cooking some damn spam.
These simples.
Hey everyone, it's Micah Fragrance back at it again with another video. In today's video, I had this idea for a while and I'm finally doing it, but I'm just going to be explaining, my whole story with fragrances. I wanted to do this video because I think it's important to understand where someone gets a love for something that they're passionate about, not even just with fragrances. Obviously, that's what I'm passionate about. I love fragrances. I enjoy making content and everything like that. So I just kind of want to talk about my backstory within fragrances. Now, either at the end of the video or right now, whatever you guys want to do, please drop a comment just telling me how you guys got into fragrances. But I'll be discussing in this video like my first experiences with fragrances, some of the first fragrances I got, and then just kind of discussing about my YouTube, and I guess kind of like my personal life within fragrances. So I think the first thing we should do, we should dive into my first experiences with fragrances. So my first experiences with fragrances, I would say, came from both of my dads, my biological dad and my stepdad. So my real dad wore Jimmy Choo Man EDT, and he wore Gucci Guilty Black. I know this is Gucci Guilty Parfum. This is out of my brother's collection. I don't have Gucci Guilty Black. He doesn't have Gucci Guilty Black. And it's important to note my dad doesn't wear fragrances anymore, which is why if I say, oh, my dad gave me this fragrance, and I know it might be confusing because I have two dads, a dad and a stepdad. So my biological father wore these two fragrances. He doesn't wear colognes anymore. His nose got all like sensitive randomly. Hope that doesn't happen to me. But he wore these two fragrances. Whenever he'd pick me and my brother up for school, I'd always be like, oh, well, can I get a spray of it? Because, when you're a little kid, you want to be just like your dad. You want to smell like him. You want to do everything that you can do to be just like him. So that was really my experiences. I still have the 3.4 ounce of Jimmy Choo Man that he had, which he ended up dropping. And he ended up dropping it on the atomizer, and he would always keep these in his truck, which looking back at it, he wasn't that smart with his fragrances. And then his Gucci Guilty, he kept in his truck and it cracked and leaked because it got super, super hot. So he wasn't really the smartest with fragrances. Obviously, I didn't realize that at the time because I wasn't into fragrances, but I'd always take his fragrances, throw on a couple sprays because I loved them and wanted to be like him. And my first introduction, which I would say this one was actually probably my first introduction, my grandma on my mom's side, so my mom's mom, bought my stepdad a bottle of Bath & Body Works Oaks, this exact bottle, and it was like $20-$30 from Bath & Body Works. It's been since discontinued, and now it's like $200, but this is just a beautiful, obviously oak-heavy fragrance, spicy, and I just really enjoyed the scent. He kept this in the glove box of my mom's car, so whenever I'd be sitting in the front seat, I'd open up the glove box, just start spraying it. I wouldn't even put it on me. I just love the scent, so I just spray it. Oh, I got my eye. And just smell it. And beautiful scent. But he gave me this bottle. I was on stream and I was just like, oh, I really like this fragrance. Was talking about how it kind of had like sentimental value to me, I suppose. And he was watching my stream, so he ran down and gave this to me to keep. W-Dad. Everyone put W-Dad in the chat as well. Or I guess you should say W-Dads. And W-Mom as well. Can't forget about my mom. So that's my first experiences with fragrances. Now I think let's dive into the first few fragrances that I actually got for myself. So if you guys have followed my channel, you guys will know the first fragrance I ever got for myself was Armani's Stronger With You EDT, and now my dad gave this to me. I started dating Hollis November 2022, and of course, I'm 14 at the time. I'm like, I need a cologne. I need to smell good. I asked my dad, hey, do you have any cologne? He had this. He liked it when he smelt it in store, but then bought it, and when he got home, he didn't really like it. The store that he bought it from is in a different city that was like 2 hours away, so he wasn't going to drive back to return it to them. So he just had this brand new. He did one spray of it. So he gave this to me, and I was working at McDonald's at the time when me and Hollis first got together. So, I wore this whatever on the first date and everything, but I was at the mall with some of my friends and I was like, I want a different fragrance. I want something that still smells close. I don't want to just wear one fragrance. So I got Azara The Most Wanted Parfum. This is my brother's bottle. He had a bottle already. So I bought a bottle, got home, and he promptly proceeded to make fun of me. He was like, oh, you're so stupid. You could have just used mine. So Porter, if you're watching, thank you for that. But I got this, and I gave this to Hollis, and it was pretty much completely full when I gave it to her. I know it's going to sound cringy. I said, Hollis, every time you miss me, just spray this fragrance. And obviously, she missed me a lot. So then, this fragrance is out of the picture for a couple months. I did end up getting it back. I completely forgot about it. Opened up one of her cabinets in her bathroom, saw it there. I was like, oh, I forgot about that. And I was like, can I take it back? And she was like, yes, I can have it. But it macerated. All it was gone. This used to be like a yellow color. Now it's a dark orange color. But beautiful fragrance. Obviously love that. And I was in Dillard's with my dad. We were walking into Dillard's. Not even the Dillard's. There's two Dillard's in my malls. One actually has all the fragrances in them. The other one just has like a couple displays. And I smell a fragrance. And I was like, oh my God, that's so good. Kept looking around. Finally found it. And it was Mont Blanc Explorer Creed Aventus DNA. So obviously, yes, it is still nose catching to people. But this is a good fragrance. And I used to wear the hell out of this fragrance. I really don't wear it all that often now. I think the Creed Aventus DNA, I still enjoy the Creed Aventus DNA, but don't really like it as much as I once did. But that's like the first few fragrances that I got. Actually, I'll throw Stronger With You up here. So these were the first 3 fragrances I had ever gotten. And after that, I just started buying fragrances. There was never like a turning point where I was like, okay, I really enjoy fragrances. I want to start collecting, want to start a YouTube channel. I just started buying fragrances because I was interested. I was like, fragrances smell different. This company, Versace does this differently with their fragrances that I like. Gucci does this differently with their fragrances, whatever. I just started collecting for whatever reason. But I figured we talked about, my first experiences with fragrances, my first few fragrances. Let's dive into starting my YouTube channel because that's really important. So let's go to that now. So I started my YouTube channel. I believe the date was December 2nd of 2023. Y'all can go look at my first video. I made my YouTube channel, immediately made that first video. Horrible video, not the worst video, but the videos I make now are a lot better. One, I'm more confident when I talk, especially in front of the camera. And obviously I've grown, I know what it's like to be a YouTuber. That was my first ever video I made. But it was like top 5 mistakes when wearing fragrances or something. And that's what started my channel. And I uploaded that. I was like, okay, I think like my channel might grow, and I just wanted to stay consistent with it. So that's what I did. I've posted consistently every day for like 7 months, so I just started posting and I started enjoying it, started learning more stuff. About 6 months in, hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm like, hell yeah. 2 months later, hit like 1,600 subscribers. I think it was 2 months. I went from 800 to 1,600 in 2 months. So I doubled my channel in 2 months. And as of recording this, just hit 1,700 subscribers last night. So my channel is growing, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys for that. I will obviously thank you guys at the end of the video again. But it's awesome that my channel is growing, and I could really see myself making a living out of this because this is what I enjoy to do. This is what I want to do. So we talked about my YouTube. Now let's talk about... Actually, we're not done with my YouTube. It's important to know I've met a lot of good people along the way. King Fragrance is one of my very good friends. Berry Boy is one of my very good friends as well. Brian, I absolutely love that guy. Tim, super cool guy. And we all kind of like share the same community, I would say. There's a lot of people off each other's channels who are all on, they're all on each other. They're all on everyone's channel. So I think I built a really nice community. So again, I want to thank you guys for being such a cool community. But let's talk about the last thing, which is like my personal life within fragrances. So it might not make the most sense, might be a little confusing, but let's discuss that. So my personal life within fragrances, I'm not talking like anything weird. I'm just talking like how I pay for my fragrances and stuff. I pay for majority of my fragrances, and I won't even lie. My parents buy me fragrances as well. My girlfriend buys me fragrances as well. But really, why I have a bigger collection, and keep in mind, my collection compared to other people's collections is tiny, like 1/10 of people's collections. I buy all my fragrances from discounters. I shouldn't say all my fragrances. Majority of my fragrances from either discounters or rack stores. I buy some retail, but I try to avoid retail stores at all cost. Really, if I go to a retail store, it's because I'm trying out a fragrance. But my parents support me. My girlfriend supports me. You guys as fans support me. And that's what keeps me going. Obviously, I'm not monetized yet. My goal is for the end of the year, 3,000 subs in monetization. So those are my goals. If I hit that, amazing. If I hit that and then some more, even better. But those are my goals. But you guys make it feel possible. You guys make me feel good about being a fragrance influencer. So that's going to wrap it up for the video. I just wanted to tell you guys my story. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video.